Chapter 47. What is mental or inner prayer, and of what kinds can it be? Mental or inner prayer is when a man at prayer collects his mind and the heart, and from there sends out his prayer to God, not aloud, but in silent words, praising and thanking Him, confessing to Him his sins with contrition, and begging for his needs in spiritual and bodily blessings. One should pray not only in words, but also in mind, and not only in mind, but also in the heart, so that the mind sees and understands clearly what is said in words, and the heart feels what the mind thinks. All this yoked together is real prayer, and if something of this is lacking in prayer, it is either imperfect prayer or not prayer at all. You are sure to have heard these expressions: prayer with words, prayer with the mind, prayer with the heart, and maybe you have heard explanations of each of them separately. What is the reason for this division of prayer into its component parts? The reason is that owing to our negligence, it sometimes happens that the tongue says the holy words of prayer while the mind wanders away somewhere. Or the mind understands the words of prayer, but the heart does not respond to them with feeling. In the first case, prayer is merely words, and is not prayer at all. In the second, prayer with words is connected with mental prayer, and this is imperfect, incomplete prayer. Full and real prayer is when praying words and praying thoughts are combined with praying feelings. There also exists, through the grace of God, prayer of the heart only, and this is spiritual prayer, which the Holy Spirit moves in the heart. The man who prays is conscious of it, but does not do it. It acts by itself. This prayer belongs to the perfect. The form of prayer accessible to all and demanded of all is the form where mind and feeling are always combined with the words of prayer. There is yet another form of prayer, which is called standing in the presence of God. When the man who prays is wholly concentrated in his heart and inwardly contemplates God as being present to him and within him with corresponding feelings, either of fear of God and the feeling of wonder and awe before his greatness, or of faith and hope, or of love and submission to his will, or of contrition and readiness for any sacrifice. Such a state comes when a man becomes deeply immersed in prayer by word, mind, and heart. If a man prays in the right way and for a long time, these states come to him more and more often, and finally this state can become permanent. Then it is called walking before God and is constant prayer. This was the state of David, who says of himself, "I have set the Lord always before me. Because he is at my right hand, I shall not be moved." Thus, my brother, if you wish your prayer to bring much fruit, never be content by oral prayer alone, but pray also with your mind and heart, using your mind to understand and be conscious of all that is said in words, and your heart to feel it all. Above all, pray with your heart. Prayer bursting from the heart is like a streak of lightning, which takes but a moment to cross the heavens and appear before the throne of the all-merciful God. God hears it and inclines towards this most of all. This was the prayer with which Moses prayed standing before the Red Sea, and immediately he heard God's voice, "Wherefore criest thou unto me?" And God gave him the power to free his people from the danger which threatened them.